Today I'm going to show you exactly how to set up an AI agent to completely automate your Twitter post. Now this requires no coding at all, and this includes a human inside the loop, which means that you can either approve or deny the post after reviewing it, which allows for easy modifications for the post and prevents anything from being posted that you do not directly approve of. So to get started building this agent, we're going to come over to a website called N8N. Now you can create an account here. Now once you log in, you'll be brought to this home overview page, where in the top right we're going to select create a new workflow to actually get started building this agent. However, I'm going to walk you through a workflow that I've already built. You can feel free to go to the link in the description and you can get the JSON file and actually just copy this template completely into your own N8N account. To do that, you can download the JSON file to your own computer, and then once you create a new workflow, you can go up to these three dots in the top right and then do import from file, and then just select that JSON file that you've downloaded previously. So to give you a quick overview of what this workflow actually includes, we are going to be interacting with this agent through an app called Telegram. Telegram is a messenger similar to WhatsApp. It just allows us to interact with this agent on your computer or on your phone. It makes it really convenient. And then here you can see our agent that is actually drafting the Twitter post. It uses the OpenAI chat model, a pretty simple memory, window buffer memory here. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about this Google Doc tool a little bit later and what that includes and what it actually does. And then this part, these three nodes right here, are actually sending the Twitter post back to ourselves, so we can then either approve it or edit it and then have it posted to Twitter, or now called X, and once we have actually approved the post. So to get started setting this up for yourself, you will need to click on this Telegram trigger and connect your Telegram account. So to do this, you'll have to make a Telegram account, and then you can start a chat with what is called BotFather. A little weird of a name, but the username is @BotFather. You can see here. To start a conversation, you can do /start to start the conversation, and then it gives you all the list of commands that you can actually use to interact with this BotFather. And then we can do /new bot to actually create a bot. It walks you through the naming process, and then it gives you the link that you can click on to actually chat with that bot, and then the API key that we actually need to go back into N8N, and you'll create a new credential here, and it will just ask you to paste in that API key to actually interact with Telegram here. So once you've connected your Telegram account, you'll just select test step, and it will actually wait for an input, and then you just send a simple message inside of the bot you just created. It doesn't matter what, you can literally just type test and click send, and it will pull in all the information from that chat. So once you've connected your Telegram account, we can click out of this Telegram node and go into this AI agent here. So really quickly, I'm just going to talk about this prompt, kind of go over what it's actually doing. We're saying make a Twitter/X post about the following topic. Only respond with a post, as I'm running an automation. So this part just allows us to actually use the entire response from the agent when actually approving the post and then posting what's been drafted here. And then here you can see I'm giving it a character limit for its response. For those of you that don't know, Twitter is what is called a microblogging site. So the posts are limited to a certain amount of characters, and the AI is not great at actually judging the amount of characters it's responding with. So I went kind of substantially under the character limit here to kind of account for the fact that it's going to go over just a little bit, but this should allow us to have no problems. If you ever run and it just doesn't respond with anything, you can go back into your in here and select executions, and it will go through all the executions, and it might have failed due to this character limit. So if you need to, you can change this if it keeps failing repeatedly. But Then here we're just giving it the topic that we are entering inside of Telegram. Like I showed you before, you just drag in the text, which is the message that we're sending inside of Telegram, to fill in this topic variable here. Make sure it's turned green or at least gray. You can do this by making sure that this text or the prompt that we're giving it here is set to expression, so that this actually fills in as a variable. Then we can go down to this system prompt. We're just saying that you're a social media marketing expert for working for me, who runs, and then you just enter your industry here. You are to create Twitter/X posts for my business page. Ensure all responses are less than a character limit, stating that again, and then kind of explaining what happens to further make sure it doesn't go over that character limit. You can give it links here, so like I'll show you, if you're directing people from Twitter to another platform, your website, YouTube, something like that, you can actually include links in your post, which is very helpful. And then emojis, spaces, whatever, it all counts as characters. That's what I'm just explaining, how the characters are actually counted. And then frame the content as me. This was just a slight adjustment for the posts. It was saying that we, and I'm only one person, so I was just saying use I instead. So depending on the post that you're getting, you can kind of come through here and actually add things to this prompt to make sure it's generating the type of post that you actually want to be posting. So once this is done, we can click out of the agent. You will have to connect your OpenAI account if you haven't already connected that to N8N. This is fairly simple to do. You can just look up OpenAI API, and if you don't have a ChatGPT account, you'll want to create one. But then we can go to this website here. It will probably prompt you to log in, but this top row, we're going to go to dashboard, go to the left side and go to API keys, go to the top right again and do create a new key. This will prompt you to name it and then give you the API key. You want to make sure you write this down somewhere and don't share it. Then you just want to copy that API key and actually paste it into N8N right here. And then the model, it will automatically fill in as GPT-4o mini. We can just leave that as is. And then the window buffer memory, this should fill in automatically. And then we can click out of the window buffer. So I'm going to come back to this towards the end of the video. This can be very important, especially depending on what type of business model you're operating with. If you have a lot of, let's say, products or information about your company, I think will definitely want to use this. So if that sounds like something that you're posting content about, make sure to watch until the end. So I'm going to finish filling in the rest of this. Your Telegram account should be connected. And then I believe these should be filled in already. The expression, both of these are set to expression. And then we are giving it the chat ID. And then the prompt, or this text section that we're giving, this is just the message that we're sending back to ourselves. So we're just saying that your post is the output from the agent, which is the Twitter post that we are going to be posting. Say your post is, give it the post. So this should already be here, but what it does is it gives us two different links essentially. So we can click on post or click on no, and then it either goes down true or goes down false. So after this, it goes to a wait block and waits for a webhook call, which it somehow fills in from that Telegram message. And then the response, it just responds with your post has been approved if you click yes. And then this if, it just routes that JSON.query answer. If it's equal to go, which I prompted it here, say go, then it goes and posts this post to Twitter. And if it doesn't, it just doesn't do anything, which allows us, using this memory here, to actually edit and change and say, change this about the post, and then it goes back through and changes the post and responds with another draft through this Telegram message. So I'll show you just how that works really quickly. So once you have everything connected, we will have to actually connect Twitter here in a second, which I'll show you how to do. But really quick, I'm just going to give you a quick idea of how this works. So like I mentioned before, while it's running, we can go up to this executions tab and you can see the execution that is actually running right now. So here you can see it responds with your post is, fills in the post, just released a new video here, check it out, and then it wants us to insert the link. So let's say I don't want this insert link text. I can say post or no. I'm going to select no, and it's going to open up this kind of random page. You can just close this out and it will actually register that you've clicked no. So then I can say remove insert link. So now you can see it went back and got that previous post and then just responded to us with the adjustments of removing that insert link. So now I can click post. Again, it opens up this website. We can just close that. And now if I go over to my Twitter, refresh, you can see that it's actually made that post, included the hashtags, the emojis, all of that. And it is already on my page. So I'm going to delete this really quickly. But the next step we need to do is actually connecting our Twitter account. So I'm going to deactivate that and we can go into connecting our Twitter account. So you can look up Twitter developer, I believe, and then we can go to Twitter developer, go to should already be logged in, but you might have to log into Twitter. Top right, we're going to go to developer portal. So once we get into this developer portal, we are going to go over to the left side of the page here and select projects and apps. For some reason, I think my project was already made. That might be the case. I kind of forgot when I was doing this if I actually made a project or not. But if there's not one here, you're going to want to create one. And then we can actually go over on this left side. It lists the project. And then you're going to scroll down to this apps section here and make an app. And then we're going to select the app settings. And then the user authentication settings, we're going to select edit. And then here's where you can change your app permissions. So originally I had read and write, which should work for just posting posts, which it says here. However, it was not working, so I changed it to read, write, and direct messages. You can try it with just read and write if you'd like, but I had to change mine to read, write, and direct message. Then we can scroll down, select web app. You're going to have to add the callback URL, which we're going to get from 88n. So if you click on this Twitter create post, and then you can create a new credential here, it gives you this OAuth redirect URL. You just copy and paste this. You just copy and paste that into this callback or redirect URL here, and then ask for a website URL. So if you have a personal website, paste that in here. I do not, so I just used my Innate-In account and it worked. But then you can select save, and then it should give you the client ID and the client secret. So both of these you're going to want to write down again. Don't share it with anybody, but you can paste the client ID and the client secret into here. And when I was originally doing this, I was a little bit confused with this app ID, and then I believe there is another API secret key, API key and secret. However, it should directly say client ID and secret key. So once you've done that, you can either copy it directly from there or go back up to this top part right here and go to keys and tokens and then scroll down, and it will list the client ID and the client secret here. So you're going to copy and paste those into N8N here and here, and then that will allow you to actually connect to your account. And then I believe you do have to log in. It pops up with a little window that prompts you to log in to your Twitter account there. So once you've done that, the resource we're going to use is tweet, and then we're going to do a create of tweet, and then you can execute the previous nodes. I believe this should be filled in, which is the tweet that's actually being posted. So now I can click save, and I'm going to actually talk about this Google Doc here. So this I actually used for a client of mine who is a food manufacturing company, and you can imagine that they have a list of products and then the branding, the logo, everything like that. So for those traditional brick and mortar businesses especially that mainly are product based, even service based ones would have it to a degree, there's a lot of information that they have about their business. And one of the main things when marketing, you want to have everything be consistent. So between your colors, your logos, everything should look the same across all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All of that should be consistent. That should be consistent across their website as well. It even goes down to the tone and the way that they're writing their messages. So that's going to change just a little bit between different platforms depending on the audience that you're catering towards on a specific platform. However, you still need to have a set of guidelines that you're using when making posts, making blogs, anything on your website that needs to follow this standard set of guidelines to make sure that everything across the business matches up. So you can see I've pretty much just put a giant Google Doc together that fills in everything from their brand voice, the marketing plan. This is all going to be blurred out just for confidential reasons, but it includes their target audience, market research, brand identity, digital presence, marketing goals, sales strategy, metrics, general information about the company, target audience / buyer persona, so that's just who you're targeting when actually doing marketing, and then a brand styles guide, which includes the colors, so you include the hex code of the colors, the logos, all of that. You just include links to the logos. So this is just a huge document and includes all the information about the company. So we can actually go back into N8N, and you can add a tool here to your agent and then type Google Doc and then connect it here. So when you're connecting a new credential, you can select create new credential, and then we're going to open this docs here. It just gives us a easier way to access the Google Cloud. So we're going to say Google Cloud account, and then it should automatically log you in if you're logged into your Google account. We're going to go to the top right here and select console, and then we can go up to the top here on the left side, and we're going to do create a new project. We're going to name it and create, I don't think you need an organization. Select create. You can see it's creating the project for us. Then we're going to click select here. You can do that up here in that, wherever that was up here. And then, or you could do it, you can go to that project list and then just select the project that you just made. We're going to go to the top left and select this menu. we're going to go to APIs and services, and we're going to go down to OAuth consent screen. So we're going to click this, then we're going to select get started, and we're going to add the app name. So you just add innate email here, just add your personal email. You can name this whatever you want, but I'm going to do internal, I believe. No, we have to do external. So I'm going to do external, do next. You can add the same email or a different one, but add an email here, select next, agree, continue, and then create. So now we need to add a OAuth, create an OAuth client. Application type is going to be web application, I believe. Yes, the web application. You can name it. I'm just going to do innate again. So we need to add this authorized redirect URLs. So you can just add a redirect URL here, which we're going to grab from the OAuth redirect URL. Copy that. You just click on it and it copies it to your clipboard. So then we can go back and paste this in here, and then select create. And then you can see it gives us the OAuth client ID here. So then we're going to go back to innate. We can copy this client ID, paste it into innate, and then we're going to click on the client ID that we just created. And then the client secret, you can see here, you can copy the client secret, go back to innate and paste that in here. Then you're going to be prompted to sign in with Google. You just log into your Google account that you just used to create this project and the client ID and everything. Just log in here and then click save, and that will connect your Google account. I'm just going to close this as I've already done that. However, we need to go back to the Google Cloud page here, and then up at the top, this search bar, we're going to type Google Docs, and then you go down to Google Docs API, and then we need to select enable. So this enables it just for this project. So you just select enable, and it allows this whatever app you've connected. So in this case it's innate, it allows it to actually access our Google Docs. So you can see that's enabled now, and now we can go back to innate and actually use this project to access our Google Docs. So now that we've actually connected our Google Doc account into innate, we can then go into this tool. We're going to set the description to manually, and then we're going to add a description here that is get company info. I'm just going to copy this, and then we can go back to our agent, open up this text or the prompt here. I'm just going to open up in a bigger screen and say you have access company info through a tool. We'll list the tool description here, which is get company info. So you just want to make sure that you actually edit this prompt. I am going to delete this because I'm not going to post this in the JSON file that you originally get, so you will actually need to just add that little bit of text to this agent prompt. But we can click out of the agent, and then we're going to go to back into that Google Doc tool. The resource we're going to leave as document. Operation we're going to select as get, and then you're going to paste in the doc URL or just the document ID. So sometimes this doesn't work if you paste in the entire URL. I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm using headings on the page, but the document ID is actually this text here. So you get docs.google.com/document/d and then slash, and then it's a long string of characters and numbers, some dashes in there too. So everything from that / to right before the slash before edit is going to be the doc ID. So you can just include that in there if the full URL is not working. And then we should be good after that. So we can click out. You can see that we have the Google Doc actually set up here. So now that everything is actually connected, we can click save in the top right. And if you skipped over that, all I did was just add a tool. So you'll still want to click save the top right, and we can change this from inactive to active. Select got it, and then we can actually interact with this agent through the Telegram sugar. So create bot. So you can see it's drafted a post, labels it as your post is, and then we can select either post or select no. And then if we select no, we can go back and edit this post. So again, just going to pop up with this random website. You just close that out, and it actually just registers that you've taken that action and reroutes you here. So we can say the same agent. So we can actually reference, like I said earlier, we can reference that same chat, that same post that it just gave us, and just make modifications to it because we have this window buffer memory. We have that chat memory here. So yeah, that's how you go about creating an AI agent to actually automate your Twitter posts. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you got anything out of this video, please leave a like or subscribe. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. Have a good one.